A man is at his youngest when he thinks he is a man, not yet realizing this. His actions must show it. The words of English writer Mary Renault are pretty much how my life has been over the past few years. Prior to coming to AMIkids White Pines, I thought I was already a man. I thought this because I was making my own decisions and doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. If I wanted to go steal something from someone, I did it. If I wanted to go do drugs, I did them. If I wanted to fight someone for no reason, I did that too. I also made a decision to live with an older woman because it made me feel like I was a man. I was supporting my habits and her habits. I ended up making some very poor decisions and could have ended up being thrown in prison for a very long time. But by the grace of God, I wasn't. I was sent to AMIkids White Pines. That's where the course of my life would begin to change. While at AMIkids White Pines, I learned a great deal about myself. I truly learned what it takes to become a real man. I learned that a real man knows how to control his anger and not lash out at others. He knows that anger is an emotion and it is not beneficial to allow his emotions to control his decision-making process. A man cannot take inappropriate actions when he is angry and use them as an excuse. I learned how to process my emotions and how to properly express those emotions without hurting myself and those I come in contact with. Through sitting down and having conversations with people like Mr. Beaver, Miss Jessica, and Mr. Crisp, I learned how to talk through my emotions and not keep them inside. The human body can only take in so much negative being kept inside before it erupts like a volcano. This is exactly how I used to be. My anger was like an erupting volcano. Whoever was in the path would be in harm's way. While at White Pines, I was able to participate in several off-campus tours and speaking engagements. One time I was invited to speak with Union County's Sheriff David Taylor's monthly staff meeting. I never thought I would be able to interact with law enforcement in a positive way. There I was, me and Mr. Chris and one of my peers, telling my story about how White Pines changed my life. As a man, I realized that these deputies and detectives are doing what they have to do so they can keep our community safe. It takes maturity to interact with officers in a positive manner, especially when all your past interactions have been because you violated a law. This taught me that a man must be able to present himself well in various types of situations and people, but always maintain the same level of respect. I've said before that I'm just a country boy from Pickens who loves to hunt and fish, but I did learn how to put on a suit and tie while I was at White Pines. Now that I'm at home, I do spend most of my days wearing my boots and jeans, but I also realize the importance of properly presenting myself in every situation. I believe all the tours and speaking engagements prepared me for my job interview with GARCON. Prior to leaving the program, Mr. Salter, our career coordinator, took me for an interview with GARCON, which is in my home county of Pickens. GARCON is a company that specializes in water pipelines. Mr. Salter spent time with me prepping me for my interview. We rehearsed time and time again. I really wanted this job and I wanted to make sure I was well prepared for it. After my interview, I was completed. I was offered the job with the GARCON. I'm proud to say I've been working there for about 7 months now. I'm working hard each day with my hands and putting in between 50 to 65 hours a week. I work with a crew of 4 people, and my role is a pipe layer, which means I have to trench for the pipe and make sure it is level, and make sure the pipes is connected properly. Getting sweaty, working with dirty hands, and digging in the mud doesn't sound like much, but for a country boy, that's a dream. And at this time, I'd like to show you a couple pics of some of the things I get to do while I'm at work. As you can see, on the left side, this is me. Um, Actually, it was this past um, Friday before I got to come down here. I had to put in 13 fire hydrants before I got to leave, so that was pretty fun. We just had put in 13,000 foot of 16-inch ductile steel water line. And the middle picture is me trenching the ditch like I was just talking about. That's actually really important, because this is how we do it when we connect our pipes together. We use like a field lock gasket or like a regular rubber seal when we connect it. And that's what that is. And when it comes together, that's the way it won't come out. And if you can't lay something flat on something that's crooked. That doesn't work. Um, and the last picture I got is me actually getting to operate on some of the big machinery. I think that's honestly just a blessing. That was always been one of my dreams, to operate with big machinery, and now I get to do that, all because White Pines helped me out and helped me become a man. Having this job makes me feel more like a man I've been created to be. I'm working hard each day and providing for my family. I feel accomplished. I am no longer living in a spiral of destruction, but I am making mature decisions. I have a plan for saving my money instead of spending it all. I realize that I do not have all the answers to life questions. So I seek guidance from positive influences like my preacher, grandparents, and staff members from White Pines. If I would not have gone to White Pines, I know that there would be no successes that I have had in my life. There would be no GED, no college courses, and of course, no job like Archon. In closing, last year I spoke to you through the video conference as an AMIkids White Pines student. Today I speak to you not only as an AMIkids alumni, I also speak to you as a hardworking, determined, tax-paying citizen. They say it takes a village to raise a child. I am so appreciative to have been able to be part of AMIkids White Pines Village. Without it, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. Thank you for your time and for all you do to help people like me who are heading full speed down a path of destruction. Realize their potential and get on the right path for success. Thank you for your time and attention.